Shalom, shalom. David Sparkowich here with myhebrewmentor.com. So glad that you could join me today for Biblical Hebrew Boot Camp, where we'll be examining a verse at a time from Genesis chapter 13, where I will actually be walking you through extremely practical exercises that will greatly enhance your ability to read Biblical Hebrew. I'd strongly encourage you to hang with me to the very end of this lesson. I will be offering you an unusual opportunity to test drive my newly released Hebrew Conquest system by giving you the opportunity to register for free, no credit card required, for my freemium Hebrew sampler. So let's get into our lesson today. Again, this is Biblical Hebrew Boot Camp on YouTube. We'll be focusing today on Genesis 13:1. So here's the Masoretic Hebrew text of Genesis 13:1, and you'll notice the color coding. I've intentionally broken down the colors by syllable, so these are actually broken into actual syllables. For anybody that wants to read any language, no matter what it is, paragraphs are broken into sentences, sentences are broken into phrases, phrases are broken into words, words are broken into syllables, syllables are broken into letters. So it's absolutely essential that you develop the skill set of being able to effectively break down Hebrew words into the correct syllables and to be able to pronounce those syllables. Now, I understand if you are brand new and you have not yet learned your alphabet, your Hebrew consonantal alphabet and the vowel system, the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today will make little sense. And so I would encourage you just to zip to the end of this video and go ahead and sign up for my freemium product. That will get you started with the rudiments of learning the alphabet, and it will not take long for you to get to the point where you'll understand the things that I'm sharing with you today. Let's try some basic reading here today. This first word is broken into, you can count the colors, 1, 2, 3, 3 syllables. This word would be pronounced va'ya'al, va'ya'al. Notice this little marking above the lamed, which is a Hebrew diacritical stress marker. Every one of these words has been given a stress marker. I'll tell you exactly where to stress the words. It really takes the mystery out of it. The Masoretes have put the time in to give us little keys or indicators on how to pronounce words. Hebrew generally is pronounced on the final syllable. It's stressed on that syllable, whereas English, it is the opposite. We tend to put stress on the first syllable of a word. And so that you'll have some unlearning to do if you're going to go from English being a primary language to trying to learn Biblical Hebrew. You will need to begin to put the stress on the final syllable. And there will be cases where the stress will not be on the final syllable, and I will alert you to those cases. So Vaya'al means, and he went up, and he ascended. Next word is divided into 2 syllables. It is pronounced Avram. Avram is the name of our patriarch, Abram or Abraham, or his name became Abraham. He was called Avram, which means exalted father. So Vaya'al, Avram, put those 2 words together. We translate it into English, and Avram ascended. Next word, 1, 2, 3, 4 syllables. First syllable is me, meets, ra. A little bit difficult for English speakers to pronounce. The resh is pronounced back of the throat. It's known as a guttural. Some people will trill their R's, as in Spanish language. Ra, like ra, and it's perfectly acceptable. Hebrew speakers more typically pronounce it in the back of the throat, as in ra. But if all you can do is ra, as in the English word race or radical, ra, that's perfectly fine. You got to start somewhere. So, mi meets ra yim, mi mitzrayim, mi mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is the Hebrew word for Egypt. So, mi mitzrayim means from Egypt. And Abraham ascended or went up from Egypt. He's leaving Egypt. Next word. Okay, this is a monosyllabic word, so there's no dividing markers needed. This is the Hebrew word pronounced who. So in Hebrew, who is he? That's how you would say he. It's an independent personal pronoun, third person masculine singular in Hebrew. Is pronounced who, and it means he. Next line, okay, 3 syllables. This word is pronounced va, ish, to. Put those together. Va, ish, to. Va, ish, to means and his wife. Next word is vachol. Vachol. And all or everything. Kol means all or everything. Asher, asher, which means whom or which. We have another monosyllabic word, lo. So you probably notice these hyphenation markers, and this essentially will take multiple words and put them together as like a compound word. So words like house and boat in English, you could actually put that together in the right context and it would become houseboat. You don't say house boat, you say houseboat. So this word would be pronounced v'chol asher lo. Should you try that? V'chol asher lo. That simply means and everything which, word was we have to add, that's assumed, everything which was lo, to him, and everything which was to him. So let's back up half a step. And Avram went up from Egypt, he and his wife, and everything which was to him. So it's another way of saying all of his stuff, all of his possessions. Okay, next word, 2 syllables. Velot. Velot. And Lot. So Lot is Avram's nephew. Third line, 2-syllable word, pronounced E. Mo. Notice here, this is one of 2 silent letters in Hebrew. The other one would be up here. The aleph is a silent letter. Down here, the ayin is a silent letter. So whenever we see that, we're simply going to grab the vowel that appears beneath it. I realize this vowel, the hirek, is slightly obscured because of the particular font I'm using. Love the font, but it does have the tendency occasionally to obscure the hirek vowel. This hirek vowel says E. This word would be pronounced E, mo, emo. Should you try that? Emo. And let's grab the last word here. 1 syllable, 2, 3, 3 colors. Ha. Whenever you see a ha in Hebrew before a word, more times than not, it's going to mean the. It's known in linguistics or grammar as the definite article. A negba. Ha, neg, ba. That's the way in Hebrew you would say the Negev, or the southern part of Israel, which is really arid and desert-like in its climate, the Negev. So if we put everything together, we could translate this, and Avram went up from Egypt, he and his wife, and everything which was to him, or in all of his stuff, and Lot was, we have to add the word was, it's not reflected in the original Hebrew. Lot was with him toward the Negev. So they're coming from Egypt, going north into southern Israel, the Negev, which is a very dry, arid desert region. I'd like to read this for you before closing up the class for today. Vaya'al Avram mimitzrayim, hu va'ishto v'chol asher lo, v'lot imo hanegba. Once more at a faster clip. Vaya'al Avram mimitzrayim, hu va'ishto v'chol asher lo, v'lot imo hanegba. I look forward to continue this educational series. I'll be having more lessons on Genesis 13:1 before we move on to Genesis 13:2. I'll be introducing some other important exercises that should seek to really develop skill sets in each of these areas. Hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Look forward to seeing you next time here. Shalom, shalom. Lehitraot. Bye now.